Hey, Nate from Navigator Bookkeeping here, and I want to talk about why you should open a retirement plan for your counseling practice. Now, there's a couple reasons, and a lot of this has to do with legislation, but also retirement plans are a great way to improve employee retention. A lot of counseling owners, practice owners that we're talking to these days are worrying about retention, worrying about culture, keeping new hires in the practice, and also bringing on new hires. There's a lot of practices trying to hire, trying to increase capacity, keep clinicians where they are, right? A retirement plan is a great way to offer a benefit, help the financial stability of your employees, and move them in that direction. There's also some movement in the industry right now from 1099 to W-2, right? Moving people from contractors to employees. So this also plays into that a little bit. But first of all, I want to talk about two things that are legislatively, that's a difficult word, I apologize, moving more and more employers towards 401k plans. And this is a way you can get into that. Okay. And first of all, I should say this before anything else, is I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a business owner working with many counseling practices who has seen things changing in the industry. So I'm giving you some things to think about. I'm not giving you any advice or things you must do, of course. Please talk to a financial advisor or a CPA. I have many great recommendations if you'd like to talk to either of those professionals. But here's what's happening in the 401k world, right? First of all, the government has passed the Secure Act. There's 1.0 and 2.0. But basically what you need to know from that is that there's some really cool tax credits that you can get as an employer if you open a 401k plan if you've not had one before. So let's say you're a practice owner. Let's say you have 6, 7 employees, and you want to open a 401k plan. What will happen is there's tax credits you can get both for starting the plan and the cost for starting the plan over the next couple of years. I believe it's 3 years. And then you also, and this is the really cool part, get some tax credits for your employer match. So when your employees contribute to the plan, you can get a tax credit for your match for those employees. And that can really add up, especially if you have multiple employees. Now, these are tax credits, which means that you're still going to pay this cost on the front end. Okay, so you're going to pay the money for the contribution, for the setup, all those things. But then when you file your taxes at the end of the year, you're actually going to get that money back in your taxes as a tax credit. And the cool thing is it's a tax credit, not just a tax deduction. So if you contributed $5,000 for the plan, there's going to be some more tax savings on that compared to just a deduction for that $5,000. So that's pretty cool. So those are the two things that are kind of benefits, like the carrot, right, that is kind of happening from the legislation that's happening here. The stick, though, the other side of this is that state governments are also trying to get more and more employers to set up 401k plans. So your state may actually have requirements for you to have a 401k plan if you have a certain number of employees. For example, I live in Illinois. Illinois has passed laws where they're kind of slowly moving more and more employers to the place where they actually have to have a retirement plan, a 401k, or a similar retirement plan. And if they don't, they're going to get fined. So it used to be 16 to 25 employees had to have one. Then they moved it down to, I don't know, like 10 to 15 employees. Now they're in this place now where if you have 5 or more employees, you have to have a retirement plan. And if you don't, you're going to get fined, right? So it's this kind of mix here, right, where we have a lot of good things where you get tax credits if you do a 401k or a similar retirement plan. But there's also bad things. There's penalties and different things, that fees that might happen to you if you don't have a retirement plan for a certain number of employees, depending on what state you live in. So as a counseling practice owner, this is a great time to think about opening a retirement plan for your employees. It's pretty easy. It's really not a huge cost. Usually the plan itself might cost a couple $100s per month, depending on how many employees you have, depending on the complexity of the plan. Outside of that, you're going to do some sort of matching for your employees, likely depending on your state rules and laws. But again, it's not going to be a huge cost. It's not going to be equivalent to like a health plan, which is going to be thousands of dollars per month. This might be hundreds of dollars a month, or if you have a large practice, it might be a couple thousand per month, but really pretty affordable. And it's going to be a really nice perk and benefit for your employees where they're going to be getting savings set up for their future, and you as the employer are going to be contributing to that as well, and hopefully building up that kind of consistency and culture in your practice where people are wanting to stay, wanting to be retained, and they're going to know that they're wanted as an employee. So lots of things to look at in this. There's a lot of specific rules and laws with retirement plans. So like I said at the beginning, you definitely do want to talk to professionals who specialize in this. For my business, what I did is I use Gusto for payroll, and they actually work with Guideline, which is a retirement plan company, and they made it super easy to set it all up. Gave all the kind of advice on how to set it up, what rules to follow, all those things. So I believe Guideline works with QuickBooks as well. They may work with ADP. I don't know. ADP has their own solution as well. Whoever you work with, I'd say work with some sort of program that's going to run with your payroll, so that when you run payroll, the retirement contributions are just going to run right along with it. It's going to be all in one place solution. It's going to all integrate together. I see some practice owners who have their payroll here, their retirement here, and they have to kind of be the middleman between those. Don't do that. Work with some sort of solution where it's an integrated solution. Everything's going to all run together. You're going to have one login or two logins, but it's all connected. Everything's going to show up in your accounting software together, and that's going to make it as easy as possible for you. Because if it's not easy to use, you're not going to want to use it, right? So Guideline is one that I've used. I really like them. Definitely would recommend them. I have other clients I've used. I think it's called Human Interest, and they're really good as well. So if you want some recommendations, reach out, leave a comment below this video. I'm super happy to connect you with financial advisors, CPAs, or retirement plan providers. I'll be your middleman. Just let me know. I'll connect you to the people, and you can get going on this process. But yeah, be thinking about this. Be thinking about those 401k or retirement plans. This is a really important thing that's coming up. It's where a lot of legislation has been moving, and it's really a pretty easy step to take for your team to help them feel more connected and retained in your practice. And you as the owner can benefit from this as well with some more retirement savings. I didn't even get into that, but there's a lot of benefits, a lot of contributions that you can put towards your own retirement as well in this process. So lots of things to think about. Leave some comments below this video if you have questions. Happy to discuss more, and we'll see you in the next video.